Hey, what is happening, friends? Good afternoon. I want to make sure I am live. Looks like I am. Hi. I'm over on YouTube. I am also on Facebook. I'm in a few places. Good afternoon. I hope everybody is doing okay. Listen, it's been an interesting weekend with the crisis that's happening. We are um we are unfortunately stuck to the news. It's not something that we like to do often, but this weekend was interesting. There were a lot of thoughts, a lot of emotions that we're having, and I know a lot of you in leadership um, are wanting to know how to help their employees during crisis, during world crisis, during um, conflicts between countries, groups, and of course the recession that we're going through. There's a lot of uncertainty happening right now, and a lot of emotions that we're having. And so some of us leaders are wanting to learn what techniques, what strategies, what is it they can do to better support their employees. And so, something I get to do every morning, and I encourage my clients to do every morning, is to do intentional downloads. Now, listen, I know some of you are rolling your eyes at me saying, I don't have time to do that. I'm raising a family. We're on the move every morning. It's fast paced. There's just no time to do this kind of work. And I want to implore you to do this work. This is the mindset work that is necessary. The mindset work allows us to bring awareness around limiting beliefs, awareness around thought patterns that are not serving ourselves, our families, or our constituents, or even our employees. Mindset work, I have always said, is 70% of leadership. Mindset work. Some of you like to take massive action. Some of you like to run around like chickens without heads. Some of you just go and try to create results and not spend the time that is necessary to create or to yield the results that will benefit you, your family, or your teams. And that is doing the mindset work, taking the time every single morning to do that. And I get to do that. I get to do that. And I even created a planner, a 90-day planner for my leadership clients. It is exclusive to my clients because they know the importance. Because as soon as we start working together, we're building the foundation. We build the foundation of mindset. 70% of your leadership practice is mindset. I mean, think about it. You're out there every day, you're guiding, you're directing, you're leading, you're influencing, you're persuading, you're motivating, you're inspiring, you're doing all the things every day with your team. And you are checking results. You are looking at performance measurements. You're looking at KPIs. You are always on the move. So, what I suggest my clients do is stop in the morning, right? Before the world demands your attention, before your family needs you to take them to school, before you walk into that corporate office, I want for you to take 7 to 10 minutes of alone time. This is mindset time, right? Where you just reevaluate what it is that you want to create this day. Right? It's an opportunity for you to either put all of those negative thoughts on paper, right? Because listen, I wake up very anxious. That's my tendency, is to wake up with anxious thoughts. And then when I'm consumed with world affairs, and I'm consumed with the financial economy, and I'm consumed with, my clients and their results, I wake up with just a natural tendency to feel anxious. And so I owe myself the time, 7 to 10 minutes every morning. I owe myself 10 minutes max to sit down and be intentional with the energy I want to bring into the day, right? The thoughts that I want to carry throughout the day, because you get busy, leader. We get busy, like I said, leading, directing, supervising. We are motivating, coaching. We're doing all the things with our teams, and we get lost in the action. We get lost in the behaviors, and we don't take the necessary time to do the mindset work at the start of the day. This is 70% of your leadership practice. Now, I heard Tony Robbins once say it's 80% uh, psychology or 80% mindset, and he said it's 20% execution or strategy, right? Or executing on the strategy. And I say it's 70% leadership in your leadership practice. It's 70% mindset in your leadership practice. Here's why. We have so we have a lot of responsibilities. We're accountable to so many stakeholders. We're accountable to our employees. We're accountable to our own leaders, even the organizations we serve. We are accountable. And accountability, by the way, just means ownership. We as leaders, we take ownership unlike any other employee in that organization because the ship wrecks. And if the ship wrecks, that's on us. But if the ship sails and we get to our final destination, that's on us. So the failures and success of your leadership are on your shoulders, leader. They're on your shoulders. You are always on the line. This is the privilege we have as leaders, is that we get to take ownership. And by the way, accountability, and I learned this from the folks that wrote the 12-week year. One of the authors loves to say that accountability is ownership. It's not consequences, right? It's owning it all, owning the mindset, owning the emotions tied to that mindset, owning the actions, owning your behaviors, and owning ultimately the results that your actions and your team's actions have created. That's the beauty of accountability, and it's the center point of a leader's responsibility. It is accountability. And so, okay, leader, you're accountable. That's clear. So now how do you prepare yourself every single day to choose intentional thoughts, to choose the energy that you want to bring into the room? This is the necessary work that we all must do if we are leading humans with brains. You understand? If you're leading a human with a soul who has a brain, you are obligated to do this work. It's the mindset work. It's what I get to do every day. I don't get to sit on my laurels. I don't get to just hope for the best. I take the necessary actions every single morning to get my mindset right. And this is why coaching is so important. Coaching is the bedrock of what we do in the institute. This is what we get to do in the Masters of Leadership Institute. This is where I serve my students and my clients, where we do 70% mindset work so that when we go take massive action and we go and create, positive habits in our leadership practice, we're creating and yielding results that are benefiting our lives, our team's performance, and the organization's bottom line. That's what we get to do. But it's not such a clear linear progression, between a thought, an emotion, action, and a result. I mean, there's so many things that are happening in your neuroanatomy. But to simplify this, and this is, you want results, and I want to give you and help you create results. And so I always explain to my clients that thought is going to evoke an emotion, and that emotion is going to inspire action or inaction. And those actions or inactions will create your results as a leader. So we have to look at the thoughts, at the belief systems, at the limiting beliefs, especially if if you are a woman of color, if you are in a marginalized group. There are a lot of interesting programming and conditioning and patterns that we want to look at. And so we look closer at what is really the what's under the hood of the brain, right? Or I should say the mind, your mind. And then we go from there. And then we build positive, inspiring beliefs that are going to, create positive emotion, going to create positive actions and behaviors, and then ultimately yield positive results in our leadership practice. And that's what we do. And so, what I do every morning is I take my quarterly planner. This is what I created for myself and my clients. I selfishly created it for me. I'm a planner snob. I've been planning my life on paper for many years. And I had been using one particular planner that didn't fulfill my leadership needs. And so I created my own planner. And this is a paper planner. And for me, pen and paper has saved my life. Pen and paper is what has helped me put my mind on on blast. It's like, okay, well, that's a ruminating thought. Okay, that's a limiting pattern. All right, what are we going to do about it, Denise? Like, so what? It's on paper, but now what? This is the awareness work. This is the mindset work that we get to do as leaders. It's putting your mind on blast. It's like, oh, okay, so I've been unconscious. I've been a zombie all this time and haven't fully found awareness around the results I've created until now. Until now, I get to see why I created those negative results. And I do that with pen and paper. And I encourage all of my clients to take on this new positive habit. And a lot of them resist this. They're like, I don't have time. I don't have time to write anything. I don't have time to have a planner. That's something that teenage girls use. What do you mean? You're a grown woman using a planner? Yes, a grown woman who has yielded success in every aspect of her life because she has put her mind on blast. It's like, all right, that part of my life not very positive, and I want to do something about it. And so now we're going to use a planner to be very conscious of the thoughts that we want to reprogram, right? There's deprogramming, reprogramming, and the planner I designed is is really the center of rewiring your leadership identity. And that's how I created this. I'm just going to give you a little sneak peek of what this looks like. It's a 3-month quarterly planner. It is fantastic. Listen, I carry this with me like my life depends on it. This planner has saved me from making some interesting mistakes, some interesting results, creating very interesting negative results in my life. This is the planner that I put my brain on. And you know what? I don't share this with anyone. This is my planner and I carry it with me throughout the day. I take it even to my clients' offices. I have it in my briefcase. I'm with it all the time because I'm taking note. I'm jotting things down between client sessions. As I'm traveling, I think of something and I stop somewhere and then I just jot it down. And I use my planner to do that because it's about 70% of your mindset work. 70% of your leadership practice is the mindset work. It's the mindset work. Self awareness is the number one skill that leaders must cultivate. They must find awareness around who they are as a leader. It's really about the leader identity. And we get to do that through the mindset work. So, what I do, like I said, every morning I take no more than 10 minutes. No more. This isn't like an hour session. I'm busy just like you are. We're all busy. So, I want to make this very simple for us. 10 minutes max. Put on a timer. And if you go a little longer, so what? If it feels good, so what? Keep going. But I do 10 minutes max. And I just write out all of those anxious thoughts and I get them out of my mind onto paper. And then, I start looking at patterns. It's like, well, I thought this, a few days ago. So, yeah, okay, it's coming up again. What's happening? What is activating in me? What is going on here? And by the way, we have 65,000 thoughts, more than 65,000 thoughts a day. I'm not asking you to put all your, all 65,000 thoughts on paper. It's the ones that are causing or creating uh, a negative emotion. It's the ones that you want to put under the microscope. We don't have to put all of our thoughts under the microscope. They're the ones that are nudging us. They're maybe the ones that you are repeating every single day. And by the way, of those 65,000 thoughts that we think every day, 90% are negative. 90% are negative. And so if I'm thinking the same thoughts every day, 90% of them are the same thoughts every day. Do you think I'm going to change or change my mindset to create now a new positive result? No, unless you are intentional. And this is the mindset work that you want to be intentional in doing. This is what I do. And by the way, this planner has every single day your task list, your appointment scheduler. But on the right-hand side, it is your intentional download page. And I have prompts on that page to get you to pour out what you need to pour out, and then you need to pour out what you want to plan for the day ahead. So it's the thoughts that you're waking up to, you want to just trash them there. There's room for that. Then I ask you, well, how do you want to show up today? And what are the thoughts that are going to help you show up in your most powerful self? And listen, every day is not a great day. I mean, there are world atrocities happening right now. There are people hurt right now in this moment. There is a lot of things that we don't wish upon anyone. And it's important that we realize not every day is going to be a happy, fulfilling, joyous day. Not every day is going to be that way. I had a moment this weekend where I'm like, this just, it is what it is. Physiologically, neurologically, spiritually, emotionally, I'm not feeling like my joyous self today. I may not even want to practice gratitude today because I just don't have the mindset right now. And that's okay. And I did a little journaling and then I put it away. And throughout the day, some interesting thoughts kept popping up and kept pushing me down, right? Kept pushing my energy down. And I couldn't get over it. I couldn't get above it. It was as if I was, underwater and I couldn't get my air. I couldn't get air. And so I said, well, it is what it is. I'm not going to force myself to be happy. I'm not going to force myself to practice gratitude. It is what it is. This is what's happening today. And this is how I'm feeling today. And that's all we're going to get today. Right. And so there are days where you just say, that's it. But the days, listen, because you are a leader and people are counting on you in the organization, you must do this work before you face them. This is the necessary work that we get to do as leaders, right? Weekends, evenings, I get it, right? Okay, I don't have anybody to inspire right now. I don't have anybody to lead right now or to coach right now. I'm just going to, just calm the nervous system. I'm going to do what I need to do, get some good dinner in me, and then start unwinding for the day. And that's it. But if you are leading people in the organization, this is the technique that you want to adopt, you want to apply immediately every single morning before you head into the office, and do it throughout your day. And if you're one of my clients and you have access to this a quarterly planner, it is a 3-month undated planner. And so we get to do all the mindset work in here. We get to plan our days, we get to plan our weeks and our months and the quarter ahead. So we do goal setting. We do goal setting for the quarter. We do personal goal setting and strategic, business leadership goals. And so this is the planner that will carry you through the entire quarter. And we are doing the mindset work. We're rewiring this. This is the rewiring for your leadership identity, right? This is what we get to use. So remember, 70% of your leadership practice is mindset, and 30% is the execution of your strategies, of your behaviors, of your actions. 70% is a lot. And where did I come up with 70%? You may be asking. Personal observation, personal experience, and professional experience, and working with hundreds upon hundreds of leaders and students in leadership. This is what I have acknowledged. I don't know if anybody else has said this before, but this is what I have experienced. This is what I have observed. And this is what I tell my clients. 70% is the mindset work. And then we go do 30%, nothing but action, nothing but strategy and executing on those plans. That's what we get to do as leaders. But it's the mindset work. Because a lot of you out here are taking action. You can't outrun, you can't outdo a mindset, you can't outrun a limiting belief, right? We can take all these actions, right? Or we have interactions with our employees and where they're challenging. They may not be very positive. And then we go back into our offices and we make it mean something about us. That's the mindset work, right? How many of you are judging your employees? How many of you are criticizing your employees? How many of you are just fed up with them? And because of an interaction you had with them, you go back into your office and you make it mean something negative about you and them. That's mindset. That's mindset. It is Seven, gosh, I'd say more than 70%, but we're going to keep it at 70%. Remember, Tony Robbins says it's 80% psychology or 80% mindset. And he says 20% execution or strategy or something. And I was like, no, dude. I mean, okay, 80% is pretty high. But yeah, I'm looking at leadership because we have to act a lot. We have to put our actions into motion. We have to put our plans in motion. And so I chose 30% of actions that we take every day, and 70% is the mindset work. So if you are making, negative interactions with your employees mean something negative about you, that's regarding your leadership identity. And that impacts your limiting beliefs. It impacts the beliefs you have about yourself and the capacity that you have to be a great leader. I mean, how many of you have the imposter syndrome? I have it no matter what level of leadership I have been in. I have experienced imposter syndrome. When it's something new, when it's something I don't know, it's something I'm trying to master, right? That's when I start feeling uneasy about my abilities. I question, am I even capable of doing this? Oh, I don't think I'm enough for this. I'm going to humiliate myself and everyone's going to make fun of me if I do this. Right? Like, so there's these thoughts that are coming in because of your mindset, because you have not prepared the mindset. So all this is just putting your mind on blast, and you do it on paper, pen and paper. And that's what I get to do in my quarterly planner. Listen, if you want in on this action, you're going to want to work with me. Go to Masters of Leadership Institute. Go check that out, or DM me. There's private opportunities where you and I can work together, or there's group settings where you and I can work together, and we can provide you with, either way, you as a client will get this quarterly planner. You're going to love it. It's going to rewire your identity, rewire for leadership. All right. Dear leader, I hope again you're having a fantastic day. I know there's a lot going on in the world, and it's so important for us to do this mindset work. It is critical that we do this because it is a privilege and honor to lead others. But how do we lead others when we don't have the capacity to even lead ourselves and lead our minds? And this is the work that's important to do. All right. I look forward to serving you on our next chat, and reach out if you want to work together. I'll see you soon. Bye.